Hi folks, welcome back to the Horde. Let's look at something red instead of something blue. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so about high noon, 6:23, Monday, 24.1. My batteries are still charging. They just kind of won't get over the edge there. 80 degrees, 82 degrees, there we are. Well, part of the deal with the Horde is the relationship I have with you guys is that kind of show you the truth. And I got the starter onto the China quad, which is good. And sometimes when you see starter brushes burned up, like the ones I showed you on the dead starter, you go, well, maybe it wouldn't start and they cranked it too much or this or that or whatever. And the next step of troubleshooting, unfortunately, is putting another starter in this thing. There is no recoil starter. There's no kickstarter. It's an automatic, so it's not like you can put it in gear and roll it down the hill and jump start it. So the next step, unless you're going to break the cover off the side of the engine, is putting a starter into it and trying to start it that way. So I invested $50 in it, and I just invested another $22 in a starter. And guess what? It appears as if the starter burned up. You guys could watch this. You hear the clicking and the smoking, but no go round and round. I got the starter hot wired, so I'm directly to the starter. You can see the clamp go right to the starter. So looks like I bought a spare starter and I got a parts bike. The next step on this thing is to pull the engine, open up the side covers and see what's going on with the why is it seized? Is it lightly seized, as in got a little water in there, or it hasn't been used much? Or is it heavy seized, as in it got a lot of water in there and it's rusted fast? Or something worse, like it threw a rod? Normally with these China quads, they're kind of rev limited, so they don't throw rods typically. Normally they, I think I checked the oil and I thought there was oil in it, so I don't think it's seized due to lack of oil. We can check that now. Obviously I had it tilted a bit to get it down. Where's the oil thing? Over there. It's in a pesky place to check. Excuse the bad camera work. There is oil in it. As a matter of fact, it looks like it's full, and the oil looks pretty good, so I'm kind of surprised that she's not going round and round. Yeah, the next thing on this bike is to just make sure this is tight. Right. Don't need that to pop out. Yeah, the next thing on this bike is to, I don't know if I have to pull the entire engine or what, but is to get this cover off and trying to turn it over. Maybe I can get this guy out. If that'll unscrew, normally they don't. I've never had luck unscrewing that. But if I could unscrew that and get a wrench onto the starter, I could try to turn it over that way and see what happens, see what's going on. Anyhow, so from a reality point of view, if you're messing with this China stuff, once again, you got to be careful. If they're an electric start only, and you can't see if they turn over, you're buying a real pig in a poke. You got to look the bike over and say, hey, are the tires and the plastic worth enough money, the tire plastic frame worth enough money that if I give the guy $50, it's worth $50 to me. And to go a step further, if you throw another $22, whatever, into a starter, now you got, $72 into it. Is it worth that money? Because if the starter doesn't work on that, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to put it somewhere else. It's just kind of there. So is now the starter, is the whole mess worth $72 to you, right? In my case, I really thought if I just slam a starter on it, I would be okay. So I'm a little bit disappointed. I've bought some other stuff from this guy, and he's a mechanic for one of the local school districts. And last year I bought a 185 from him. I don't know if you guys remember it. You can look back in the old videos. And he said it didn't run, so I got it started. I got it running. Only discover that it appears as if, I think it's the shifter fork is broken or something with that, because it wouldn't go into gear. So it starts, runs, beautiful, but it wouldn't go into gear. So that annoyed me, because it took me quite a bit of time to get to rebuild the carb and to, get the whole thing fired up. I think it had a recoil problem too. So I finally get it fired up, only to discover that it's got a tranny issue. Much like this one, right? One of the other things I run into, once again, with that China quad sitting out there, so it needed a starter. I put a starter on it. Let's say I break it opened or manage to get it to fire up and I get it running. Then it turns out the kid beat the hell out of the transmission, and the transmission's wiped, right? This is kind of an automatic CVD torque converter type tranny, I think. Either that or it's just a single speed with a centrifugal clutch, whatever it is. But what happens if that's wiped on top of it, right? So here you are putting time and effort into kind of a loser. A loser, by the way, even if it was perfect and absolutely running, you could buy those China quads. They go pretty cheap. If in that kind of condition, once again, if it was running, $250, $300 if you really found somebody who, for some reason, had to have an ugly, trashy one like that. Check it out. My batteries are charged. See the green light? That's a good thing. Yeah, I've been concerned because I haven't seen that green light in a couple of days. So, all right, folks, I've been babbling for 8 minutes. Don't cry for me. Just to let you know, once again, this is reality TV. You bring stuff home. Some of it works out, some of it don't. And reality check on this China quad is it doesn't look like it's going to work out. It looks like a loser. Folks, live, love, and have a great time. Remember to keep your feet down and keep your head up. We'll catch you on the next episode of The Horde. And as always, thank you for watching, thank you for commenting, and thank you for subscribing and being one of my subscribers. Bye now.